work. And finally here, 8 album under my belt, and with the rest, with the different artists that I've been producing that are doing very, very well. And so I could just look back. And so when they kept calling, I must say it was a great honor. It was humbling. I was like saying, I think it was in 2015. 2015 when because I do a lot of overseas work. And so one time, 2015, I think I was in Washington, and I happened to see an article here at home because I met up somebody else in Washington who was connected to some media platforms here at home. And then I'm reading the article, this guy says, I met up with Tebs David, who's doing big time in the States. And then the highlight was Tebs David, well known and highly appreciated in overseas than South Africa.
Oh, of course.
So, but I think times like this is when you it's good, even after you appreciate it out there, but when you come back home, find that warm welcome, and that says we see what you're doing, we hear what you're doing, and we just want to appreciate the efforts you're putting. So it was that type of a thing where they kept calling the other one. I was like, wow, finally something is happening.
And that's the Friday you were supposed to come through.
That's the day, and I sensed it. I said to you,
I need to go.
I think I need to go there, They sent an invite, and I could see they were insisting.
Yeah,
you
that
need
you
to
come through.
And like I was smelling because the way different people were like, what time are you arriving? What time am I? I normally don't, but now this one.
There's something special about this one.
So I just thought, let me honor and go. And went there, and what an honor. 6 nominations. But importantly, these 2, we got to vote.
Yeah.
These 2, we got to push them. The best song is the one we have to push.
Yeah.
And best artist, we got to push. And I tell you, we need as much votes as possible. My best song number is 1. Number 1 is my number.
Yes.
So all you got to do is go to SMS and say 1. Crown 1. And then the number we're using is 34069. 34069. That's the number we do.
So we go Crown 1.
Crown 1. And you send it to the number 34069. 34069. That one is for the best song, which is Magabongwe. And then, yes, that's the best song of 2023.
And it's a favorite right here on the station.
Man, I see, right? And I've been hearing more and more about that.
We love it.
And then the other one we've got to vote for is my number is 24. It's Crown 24. And you also send it to the number 34069. Now, so my number is Crown 24. That one is for the best artist of 2023. And so those 2, they need votes. The best song is number 1. Crown 1.
Lovely.
Let's go. As many times as you can remember. No free SMS are permitted. You got to do the one. SMS only costs 150. And let's bring it home. I did a commitment the other time. And then when I won the award and I came back here and I put it right here, I said, let's celebrate. So I'm hoping to bring the best song, Magabongwe, here. And let's come and celebrate right here.
Amen and amen to that. So if you've just joined us, we're also live on our Facebook page. We're live on the Radio Pulpit Facebook page. If you haven't liked our page, please do find us there, like our page. We are with the legendary Tebs David. It's really not right to mention your name and not mention legendary. When you mention all the other artists, all the other people that you've groomed, which I want us to talk about: best gospel song, best gospel artist, best gospel male artist, best gospel praise song, best gospel live recording, best gospel producer album. And you've been at this for the longest of time. I see that you also have a passion for nurturing talent. Let's talk about that aspect.
I think the fact that, number one, I grew up without a father. So I was not nurtured properly, in my view.
Yeah.
So it was all my mother who was doing every other thing. And my mother was a domestic worker, for that matter, who worked for about 40 years for this family until retired and still earning like 200 rands a month. So the first 1,000 rand that she had in her hands is when I worked and I came back home. I say, Mother, you've never touched 1,000 rand. I want you to have it in your hands.
I can imagine 1,000 rands back then.
By then. So
It's a lot.
and so the fact that I realized I didn't have much support. Even when I went into music industry, it was not really, really easy because I was believed to say is one of that person and one of those people that was not so highly gifted. So not many people believed in what I'm doing. So firstly, I had to convince myself that I know I'm good. I know I'm capable. I know I can do better. In spite of what I'm hearing, there were a lot of negative things that I'm hearing.
my God.
But I had to spend time and talk to myself. So I negate all these other things that
So
I'm
before
hearing.
you even start on the outside,
Yes.
because I mean that needs to be done at some point.
Yeah.
The work had to start within.
He had to start within, and then later on, and say, okay, fine. I think I'm convinced. I believe I've got what it takes. And even if, and I tell you, some of them were not even gossiping. They would tell straightforward 9-9. I remember clearly one of the pastors who said to me, "Yeah, I tell you, that's what you go through in life." But I'm saying this to encourage somebody. Say, in case you were like me, somebody said to you, "You will never amount to somebody else or something else better." I want to encourage you to say, never listen to the negative things. Keep pushing. Keep on going. If God is in it, it will surely come to pass.
Amen.
I needed to encourage somebody in that regard. So it was just like that, where I realized I don't have much support. But I needed to push. I knew what I have in my head. I knew what I'm hoping to have. But people around, no. One of the pastors said to me, and after I sang, and when you poured your heart, you see, and when I sang and I sat down, and after the church service, the other pastor came. It was a conference for pastors. The one pastor said to me, "You know what? You must be behind the scene. I don't think you need to be leading and be in the front." Literally, and he said exactly those words. I was shattered.
I can imagine.
I went home. I never slept for a week.
And how old are you at the time?
You will be shocked when I'm saying I was already on my second album. I was already on my second album. So meaning it's not so crazily long. And he said no. But and I had just finished doing that second album. But that man helped me. I understand it clearly to say the mountains that you're facing, our prayer should be opposite, to say, don't move the mountain. Rather pray that God should give you the strength to climb the very same mountain. So stumbling blocks that you face in front of you, your prayer shouldn't be to say, Lord, take it away. No, the prayer should be to say, give me the strength to go through.
Because they are valuable lessons.
When you're done then with them, you become way better. I started to respect people better. I started to understand that those who are not making, those who are discouraged because of those kind of
Within the
negative things.
industry.
Yes, I'm like, now I understand why. And that's why I now had to encourage myself, just like David. Good shot. I'm also
Exactly.
David. Just like David, I had to
Amen.
encourage myself in the Lord. I had to say, yes, I see I'm losing that and that and that, but I've got to encourage myself and say, this can be done. And I'm going to do it. So it took me literally, I was home for like 4 days. I'd never gone out of the house. I didn't want to see anybody else. And I was shattered. But a week later, I went out. I spoke to myself. I encouraged myself. I said, I'm going to do this. And now I had even double courage after
And
that.
sometimes it's important to do that because not everybody knows what you are even going through. Not even the person that has uttered those words to you.
Yeah. No.
They have moved on.
Oh, they've moved on so easy and well. Like so nice and easy and well. Did not know that that was a potential to really bury the person.
Yeah.
But I moved on. And so that gave me courage. And guess what? At that very same album, and that's the album that's called Coming Back. On that album is the songs like Ngengayam, is the songs like, it was that album that picked me up to a highest level. I remember when One Gospel was opening for the first time, that channel. When they opened that one, 3 months later, they gave me a call. They say, we want to see you in the office. The MD say, I want to see you. They say, on the station is 3 months old. and we are seeing this thing is everywhere in the whole of Africa. They say from Nigeria, Kenya, everywhere, you are the number one artist that people are demanding to hear. They said per day they'll play my song not less than 30 times. Like somebody will say, replay it, they played. Replay, they played. And there's one day they played so many times until they even like, no, I mean, we've got other artists to play. They gave me billboards, and I remember I was on billboards here in Pretoria, and they're like, as a credit to what you've done to our station, because even the station was now followed big time because of the You Are Faithful song.
Sure.
Everybody wanted to hear the song. Everybody wanted to listen and watch and really saturate, and they used that as a prayer thing, and they will use that for the all-night prayer. So the station said, in reverse to this, we want to give you, they gave me 5 billboards in
I feel
Gauteng.
like God was just showing off.
Just to say,
especially after that conversation.
I tell you. So I looked back. Of course, after that conversation with that pastor, that whole thing took just over 2 years. So 2 years later, I'm in Billboard. I sold gold disc. I sold platinum and multi-platinum. So in total, I sold over 500,000 copies.
Sure.
And remember, way back they were saying Brenda Fuss was one of those that broke those records and sold so much so. But it was all because when God is in it, no man can stop it. It's no longer about the gifting and talent. It's just about God.
Amen.
When it takes over, you're gone.
Sure. And
So
the thing about him, when he shows up, he just shows off.
Oh man,
He just shows
so big
off.
time. So, but that whole thing said to myself, I now need to encourage other people. I can see so many people that are discouraged, that don't even have hope. That's when I started going out, and when I see a potential, and I would help and encourage, and by then I still had a lot of strength and courage and and everything else by then. And I've recorded so many people that we did so well together, traveled together locally, and some of them even had the grace to take them overseas. And I was counting one time, I said the artists that I've taken overseas, there were more than 25 artists that have given the platform in the USA, in the UK. Because then God started opening overseas. And it started happening big time. And I'm like, once again, if I have the platform, I want to share with my fellow brethren. And they came along, we did that. So it's been God's grace. I know. I remember when we were recording Takindo for the first time, it was like, where are we going to go with this thing? And look at Takindo today. And just that investment meant a lot.
Sure.
And together we traveled. I've been with him in the States twice, and even some islands as well. We traveled together, done a lot of work. And the same as Take Shores, Amagangube. Too many, Butletela, too many. I can't stop. Some of them maybe Jonas Masutla.
Yes, he was here not so long ago.
Yeah, too many that I really mentored, recorded, and traveled with. Sometimes I've been Pastor Phil. The list is endless. Oh yeah. Do you know this young lady now? She's no longer young. Mutsuedi. People call her Moi now.
I know Mutsuedi.
I'm talking to her. We are talking about her now. She's in China now.
Sure.
She's topping the idols in China, and she's singing in Mandarin. In other words, in Chinese language.
Imagine.
I'm the first one to record her in. By then she was 9 years old.
Of course, yeah. This is so beautiful.
Yeah, that was like in 2004 when we first recorded her. And last year was my greatest moment after the journey. I would travel all over with her, and she was still a scholar, a young kid. Would arrive home at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and she needed to go to school that same day. We're coming from Venda. We arrive in here. She just gets ready and to school, and you will rest later. Today, I'm so proud of her. Looking how those idol things that she's doing, there were so many. There were almost 1,000. Now she's competing. They cut from 1,000 to 500 to 100. Now she's in the top 20. She's doing extremely well. So last year I had a privilege to go with her to the States, when she was going to attend school at Manhattan School of Music, just for me to present her to the school, the churches
Beautiful.
out there. I'm like, look at the investment we made many years ago. Today we can rip. Now we're talking about the likes of Once More Six. He just left yesterday. He's in UK as I'm talking to you
And he's
now.
doing
Extremely
amazing.
well. The man, again, raised. Sure. I met the parents. I think he was 1 year old.
Matumelo was telling me the story, and she was just like, listen,
That's my
like,
child. That's literally my child. But I love him dearly. He's a sweet man. He's really orderly, highly gifted. He's in the UK now, ministering tonight. He's ministering tomorrow. He's ministering. He's going to be there over the weekend, and yeah, just amazing stuff. So yeah, the
praise
journey has been quite
God.
interesting, but I just love what God is doing, and because after all of that, now I look at it now, God is rewarding with all these
You
nominations
know,
and all these invitations that are all over. I look at my next year's calendar; it's crazy, and I'm like,
Kosi.
wow, it can only be God.
It can only be God. And you know, after this, it's going to get even worse, right? You know, that's
Hey.
exactly what.
But I want to try and book. I'm trying to book that Monday. You see, the
Mm.
awards is Sunday. I want to be here on the Monday. I want to be here on a Monday. I want to see how we can do that. I want to be the first one to be here on Monday.
I'm sure you know Smogile does the Monday edition of it, and she will gladly do that. I know she will gladly do that.
Wow.
So let's play Magabongo,
Of
a
course,
fan
vote, vote. That's
favorite.
a voting one. Crown one. Vote as many times as you can. Magabongwe.
Lovely. Eh, konje umsasazi. Nkosi yami.
Oh, by the way. those people that are still there. I mean, on my recording, I had over 60 pastors who just came to say, we want to sit and just enjoy your recording. And most of them were saying, we've
Wow.
never attended a show. But
But
say,
this one, we
yeah,
are
we're like, we
coming.
don't attend these things. But this one, but I think by the grace of God, because
Intsikelelo le.
yeah, I've worked with them and I've been there for them, and this time it was like their turn to just become part of what we're doing. So I'm really really blessed to see all of that. And I remember there were so many two kumbis of Fumagogo,
Oh,
literally
Nkosi
Fumagogo,
yami.
who just
This is
came.
exactly what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Intsikelelo. It is such a
Oh
blessing.
man! So when I look at all of this thing, I'm saying, and yet, so I had all that. I have the Magogo. I had pastors. I'm talking about
Mm.
the young and old. With Dr. David Mulapo, young and old, they were there. The modern,
Wow.
they were all there. And then you find very, very young people who are saying, we are following. We want to do this. We've been
Mm.
watching. We hope to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
So it's encouraging. It helps us to continue to do even more. Even when you feel like I'm getting tired and you need to slow down, but they're giving you energy to run more. Somebody else, like last week, was saying to me, when are you slowing down?
Because for some, it seems like you've just started. I don't
Yeah,
know. I mean,
can't
yes,
see.
you are saying that I want to slow down on this and that,
I
but it
mean,
appears as though this is just the beginning.
it was in 1991, I think, when I was in Soweto, Lubu Madumelo,
Yeah.
Malatsani Choir there. Imagine. So we've really been, by the grace of God, doing it for that
Yeah.
long. But of course, I'm coming from a family that's been singing, so it's just been music and music at home. But we started making it more professional, starting from the 90s, and then we've gone to studio. I went back. Luckily, I managed to track down. I still had a cassette that I recorded in 1991.
Sure.
So I was able to go and translate that cassette into a modern way. And I listen, I'm like, wow, we come a long way from these cassettes and LPs that we're doing. And look at
Yes.
us now today. Even CDs don't really sell much. We are now just downloading and doing that. But I must surprise you by saying I have just released the first part. We've recorded so many songs, 23 songs in total. Now I've released 10 songs
Phew.
2 weeks ago. But I put it on CD and a USB. I'm
Mm.
amazed at the orders I'm getting. When we thought people don't buy CDs anymore,
You still
I
have
can tell
people
you,
who want
people
CDs.
still want. They say no, we're gonna archive them. We want original. We want to keep it. We want so people are still buying CDs.
Sure.
I am in awe.
So CDs are becoming like vinyls in a sense, you know
Yes,
what I
in the
mean? Like
same,
the
just to
new
want to
day vinyl,
keep.
because you know how with vinyls,
Yeah,
people would want to
yeah,
keep it
yeah,
in
yeah,
their
yeah.
room somewhere and look at their collection.
And
So
that's
CDs
it.
are becoming
That's what it
just
is now.
that.
So that's what it is. So what a humble experience. What a humble time. And we can just thank God for it.
Beautiful. And you can definitely vote your SMS crown to 24, right? Your SMS crown 24.
Crown 24, that's for the best artist.
Okay.
And then the other one is Crown 1. Just go and do 1, the number, Crown 1. And of course, the SMS number is 34069. Please vote as many times. We want to bring back that Magabongwe home as the best song for 2023. Crown 1. Let's do it.
Beautiful. Here steps David featuring Once More Sex. And the Philadelphia Worshippers. We make our way back on the other side, Ulungile.
Yes.
And we are going to wrap it up on the other side. Get your socials and so forth and so on. Ulungile.
support we're getting. We need much more and
Yes,
more.
yes.
And as you know now, we are indeed going to the Crowns. I think it's the 26th of November. It's going to be here in Joburg FNB Stadium. Those who are willing to come through and just be for our great support. You know, when you walk in that red carpet, or this time it's going to be a golden carpet, it's nice when people just like, wow, yeah, you know, that's encouraging thing. You want people that can just encourage.
And just to see familiar faces,
Yeah,
I'm sure it's
they're
just
like,
amazing.
oh yes, that's you.
know?
So it's going to be happening on that Sunday, 26th. So therefore, please go ahead and vote as much as you can. Crown 1 to the number 34069 so that we can have the song of the year. And for the best artist, you go to crown number 24 and then also do it 34069 as many times as you can. Just sit and just load and give it to your kids. They'll do it better. So thank you so very much. Let's keep on keeping on. God has given us the grace. Let's use the opportunities that we have, and He will automatically and finally come to our rescue.
Amen. Thank you so much for those beautiful words of encouragement. How do we get a hold of you on social media or any other platform?
Quite easy. On Instagram is TEBS, which is TEBS_David, DAVID. And of course, Facebook is TEBS David, is TEBS David. All other platforms is just TEBS David, TEBS David. That's where you can find us. And let's communicate more. Let's just have this great fellowship. And we would really love to hear more from you. Let's make it work. Let's make it work.
Beautiful. So we're going to sound out. Can we sound out with Khotlelela?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
You know, on this one, and I know you're going. This one of the songs I wrote when I was in trouble, trying to encourage myself to say, hold on, help is on your way.
Amen.
I'm saying, Khotlelela tsatsi le lengwe. Ho tlo loka, mathata le gona.
Amen.
Tsohle di le gona, mara tsatsi le lengwe,
Ho
ho
tlo
tlo
loka.
loka. So
Thank
hold
you.
on, help is on your way.
Hey, Sizawubambelela. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. 5 minutes before top of the hour. This is how we wrap up Heart to Heart on Radio Pulpit with myself, Mpho Putini. I'm back again tomorrow from 7 to 9 in the evening. Thank you so much for choosing Radio Pulpit. On the other side, Johan Els coming through with something else.
Hold on, help is on your way.
Here's Khotlelela, courtesy of TEBS David.
Sure.